Hi Year 10, the next video is on simplifying algebraic fractions. So to simplify a fraction, we need to cancel the common factors. Now you must make sure each term in the fraction is able to be simplified. So if you look at this little example here, we've got x plus 4 divided by 2, and that is not the same as x plus 2 divided by 1. We can't divide everything by 2 because the x doesn't have a 2 in it. So when I'm on about talking about each term, it means if anything is separated by a plus or a minus, it makes different terms. So in this situation here, there are three terms. The x is a term, the 4 is a term, and the 2 is a term. So to simplify, we have to be able to simplify from everything. So we can't simplify by 2 because the x doesn't contain a multiple of 2. So we've just got lots of examples here. I think there's 13 in total, so lots of different situations that you'll see in your booklets. So the first one, we've got x squared divided by 2a. So if we wanted to split this up, we'd have a times a over 2a. Now because it's a times on the top, that makes it just one term. And we look at what's common. A is common at the top and the bottom, so we can cancel one of those. So we're just going to end up with a over 2. Now for part B, same idea. Want to look at what's common between the top and the bottom, what are common factors. So 6 and 3, if we divide those, we'll get 2. A squared, there's only one a squared, it's just on the top, no other a, so we can't cancel that. Then we have b divided by b, which will cancel each other out, so we're just left with 2a squared. Now for C, a plus b all divided by a. Now we can't actually cancel anything here because there isn't an a that's common in every term. We've got an a as one term, a b as a second term, and then an a as a third term. Nothing common, so we can't simplify. So that one will just stay the same. Now for part D, minus 4b all squared divided by 2b. Now in this one, the first step will be to expand the bracket. So minus 4 squared is 16, and then we'll have b squared all divided by 2b. Now we'll see here that 2b is common in the top and the bottom, so 16 divided by 2 is 8. b squared divided by b will leave us with 1b. And that's the idea with all of these, it's just different situations that you'll see. So part A, 18 divided by 3 will leave us with 6. And now c minus 1, we can't do anything with that. There's no common between the top and the bottom, so that will just stay on the denominator. Now, just be aware here, when we have brackets and pluses and minuses, the bracket keeps it as one term. Now, because that one term is times by the 3, that whole thing we see it as one term. So if you have pluses or minuses in brackets, it kind of changes the idea of it and doesn't create separate terms, it just creates one term. All right, with F, so we've got 2x plus 3 times x plus 4, so that's just one term because it's all multiplied together. And then 5 times 2x plus 3. Now, because there's no pluses and minuses separating the brackets, it's just one term on the numerator and one term on the denominator. So we just look at what's common, which is 2x plus 3, which means they can be cancelled. And we will be left with x plus 4 over 5, and we can't do anything with that. Okay, next one's G. We have 12x plus 4 all squared divided by 3x plus 4. So with this, 12 divided by 3 we can do, which gives us 4. Now we've got an x plus 4 all squared at the top, an x plus 4 on the bottom. So there's one common between the top and the bottom. So we'll still have 1x plus 4 left on the numerator of the fraction. So this one at the bottom here will cancel with one of those there on the numerator. H, if we look at H, we'll notice that we've got 3a plus 9 all divided by 3, and 3 is common in all terms, so we can divide everything by 3. So we'd get a plus 3 really over 1, and then we can just write that as a plus 3. Now I, same thing, a number that's common between them all is 4, so 4a divided by 4 is a, we'll get plus 3, 12 divided by 4 is 3, and all that divided by 2. So to simplify everything by 4. J, now when we get to these ones, with J, K, L and M, we're going to need to factorise first. Because if we look at these at the moment, there is nothing common between all 4 terms. But if we look at the numerator, we can see that we can factorise this. We can factorise out the A. Which means we end up with A times B plus C b plus c in the bottom. A b plus c is common on the top and the bottom, which means we just get left with a. For k, same idea here. Factorise, so we can factorise out 6x, which will give us x minus y. On the bottom, we can factorise out 3, x minus y. And now x minus y is common on top and bottom, so they can cancel. And 6 divided by 3 is 2, so we'll end up with 2x. L slightly differently. So in this one, you see we've got, at the top, if we factorise out the 6, we're going to end up with an a minus b. And the bottom, we've only got a b minus a, which they're slightly different. So what we can actually do with the denominator is, if we factor out a negative, we'll end up with negative b plus a in the brackets, and that is the same as a minus b. So they will cancel, and we'll be left with 6. And it's the same idea here with m. So if we can factorise out x, y on the numerator, we'll end up with an y minus 1. And now with the denominator, we could factor out negative 1, so we'll get minus 1 plus y, which means we can cancel those. And we'll end up with xy over negative 1, which will give us negative xy. Now, I've just realised if we go back to L, I made a mistake here. We've still got this negative on the denominator here, which means this answer is actually negative 6. And that is the end of simplifying fractions.